We've covered a bunch of ways nuts may cut heart disease risk. Boosting nitric oxide production in our arteries because of the arginine content in nuts, cutting down our risk of sudden cardiac death because of the magnesium content, and lowering the risk of our bad cholesterol because of why exactly? How do nuts lower our cholesterol? What are the potential mechanisms? This is where it gets a little complicated. These may be the various nutrients responsible for bad cholesterol reduction. Let me just touch on two. First, fiber, then phytosterols. What's flowing through our intestines right now is going to end up as waste. That's the default, unless any bits can be absorbed. We can imagine our enterocytes, the cells lining our intestinal wall, as a vast array of trash pickers, resource recovery workers. They're sifting through the river of potential garbage flowing past, and picking up anything of use, a vitamin here, a mineral there, such that by the end, there really isn't much left that's desirable and truly gets dumped. So our gut also acts as our body's disposal system. Anything it wants to get rid of, it throws down the trash chute like excess cholesterol. Cholesterol plays a vital role in the body, and that's why our liver makes as much as we need. But if our liver feels there's too much cholesterol circulating around, it dumps the excess into the gut to get rid of it, knowing full well there'll be an ever-flowing torrent to flush it out to sea. We did, after all, evolve for millions of years on a plant-based diet like our great ape ancestors, and so we weren't designed for burgers and milkshakes. We were designed for fiber, and lots of it, 100 grams a day or more, a massive, quick-flowing stream. And so when our body throws some cholesterol down the trash chute, it knows it's going to zip right out. But what if our river dries up? Just a slow trickle of sludge because we're not eating enough whole plant foods. We still have the same number of trash pickers, but the volume and speed of the flow is way down on a fiber-deficient diet. So they're finding all sorts of stuff that otherwise would have been lost. So they're picking back up estrogen that our body dumps, cholesterol, and putting it back into our system. It's like you litter, and someone comes by and picks it up and says, excuse me, did you drop that? Fiber bulks up the flow, speeds it up, and dilutes everything, so lots of stuff may never even make it to the banks of the intestinal river to be picked up and inappropriately saved.
For most people, their internal cholesterol gauge works well enough to keep their cholesterol at a good level. However, if your levels of cholesterol are too high, LDLs will leave extra cholesterol in the blood. If the HDLs cannot pick up all of this cholesterol, it will begin to build up on your artery walls, along with other fats and debris. This buildup is called plaque. Over time, plaque can narrow the blood vessels, and sometimes this buildup may even block your blood vessels completely. Plaque buildup on your blood vessel walls is called atherosclerosis. A narrowed or blocked blood vessel can prevent blood from getting to where it needs to go. If the blocked vessel is in your brain, it can cause a stroke. Blockages can also happen in the blood vessels called the coronary arteries that carry blood to the heart muscle. This blockage process is called coronary heart disease, and the end result can be a heart attack.
I've talked previously about the anti-diabetic and anti-obesity effects of various phytochemicals in beans, but there are protective effects on the cardiovascular system as well. Plant-specific compounds can have a remarkable impact on the healthcare system, may provide therapeutic health benefits, including the prevention and or treatment of diseases and disorders. Antioxidant effects, anti-inflammatory, liver protective, blood cholesterol lowering, blood pressure lowering, as well as prevention of aging, diabetes, osteoporosis, DNA damage, heart disease, and other disorders. Those without legumes in their daily diet, for example, may be at quadruple the odds of suffering high blood pressure. Legumes, such as chickpeas, have been used to treat high blood pressure and diabetes for thousands of years. Here's what they can do to our cholesterol levels. Researchers took people on a diet high enough in fat to rival the cholesterol levels in the Western world, around 206, swapped in chickpeas for the grains that they were eating, and in 5 months, their cholesterol dropped about 20% to 160, almost down to the target, which is around 150. a reduction of more than 15% in most of the subjects, and its sustained action during long-term administration not only indicate a definite benefit, but show that chickpeas are superior to many cholesterol-lowering substances. In a randomized crossover trial, adding 2 servings a day of lentils, chickpeas, beans, or split peas cut cholesterol levels so much that many participants moved below the range at which statin drugs are typically prescribed. But I'm going to go back to this study because they really buried the lead. The participants were started out on a low-fat diet, really low-fat, and so their cholesterol started out at 123, well within the safety zone. Only after packing their diet with saturated fat were they able to boost their cholesterol up to typical American levels, which could then be ameliorated by adding chickpeas to their lousy new diet. But it'd be better if they just ate healthy in the first place, or even better, healthy and hummus, a healthy diet with lots of legumes. Avoiding meat is only one part of the picture. A healthy vegetarian diet should be chock full of foods with known benefits. Within the last 12 months, 8 products were tested, some for the first time ever, to see what they would do to our LDL, our bad cholesterol. Almonds, Cheerios, cola, flax seeds, flax oil, kiwi fruits, red yeast rice, and strawberries. First up, almonds, packed with nutrition, but might they raise our cholesterol? Or does eating almonds not affect our cholesterol? Or does eating almonds lower our cholesterol? Almonds lower our cholesterol. What about the hype about Cheerios? Do they really lower cholesterol? Yes, they do, but they also have a tablespoon of sugar in them per serving, and that's before you add extra sugar. We should stick to oatmeal for the best of both worlds. Obviously, soda is just plain bad for us, but does it actually affect our cholesterol? Only the cola. Isn't that interesting? The other sodas don't do it, so colas are particularly bad for us. Flax seeds are a given, definitely lower our cholesterol, but what about flaxseed oil? It doesn't work. Flax seeds, but not flaxseed oil, lowers our cholesterol. Another reason the ground seeds are better. Kiwis are definitely a first. No one had ever tested their ability to affect our cholesterol until now. 2 kiwis a day for 8 weeks significantly improved cholesterol levels. What a yummy way to help our hearts. Red yeast rice. It's actually red mold rice, moldy rice, a fermented food prized in Chinese medicine, which can be taken as a supplement. Does it work? Yes, it does, because the red mold actually produces lovastatin, sold for billions of dollars as Mevacor. Just like there's a mold that makes penicillin, well, there's a mold that makes a cholesterol medication. The problem is, by eating the rice, you could have all the side effects, but without the dose standardization. And finally, speaking of yummy ways to lower our cholesterol, what about strawberries? I wish. Strawberries have all sorts of amazing properties, but as I've documented over the years, but unfortunately, lowering our cholesterol is not one of them.